All right, all right. Nice. Peace, blessings, enough, holy, plenty. A lot of love to all the queens and the kings in this house here on Meeting Platform. Just want to thank everyone for being here. Those that are here live on Meeting, and of course, those that are on the varied YouTube platforms. Welcome to Deep Dive, Globally Changing Lives. As we commence, we will be starting, of course, with our signature tune, In It to Win It, gifted to us by our one and only international recording singing artist, Queen Lerato Shadari. And without any further ado, we are going to get right into it. And so it is in it to win it.
We are here closing doors, please.
All right, all right. Thank you very much, Queen Lorato Shadari. I really do appreciate. And we are going to be moving straight into our first and primary for me presentation, because as you know, the mindset is the one that does it for me. Without the proper mindset, um, you are nowhere in life, literally nowhere in life, because mindset is more about what you do or what you don't do in life. And we did have part one last week, Tuesday, which is the art of letting go things that people hold on to longer than they should. And of course, this week is going to be part two of that same topic. And of course, it's the same presenter, our one and only, awesome, wonderful, beautiful, lovely Queen, Dr. Tunishai Ford, international transformational speaker, empowerment trainer, TV talk show host, and yes, maybe that might be in the category of Oprah Winfrey. I never can tell. Published author of four books. Yes, I did say four books, right? And you can get a free subscription of that. You just need to do it once. And of course, you will be getting that monthly subscription for free. And so, without any further ado, the mindset is none other than Queen Dr. Tunishai Ford. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, good afternoon, good morning, wherever you are right now. Welcome to another dynamic message. And I really do appreciate you, Dr. Derek, for allowing me to share the part two. Again, the message is entitled The Art of Letting Go. Things people hold on longer than they should. Now, you know Dr. T's style, so I'm going to do a recap of what I shared with you all last week for those who may be hearing it for the first time, and for those of you who are taking notes and you want to add more to your notes or whatever. But we all talk about, letting go of things. This is the year 2026. So I want to make a declaration that this is the year of fulfillment. This is the year of happiness, being able to write our own book, how we want our book to begin and end, with God's help, of course, the primary author of our life. This is the year of prosperity. And I don't mean just look things trickling in. I'm talking about real wealth. This is the year that I believe that God is going to usher in the wealth transfer that everybody's been talking about. It's time. It's time for God's people to be blessed. But in order for us to receive his blessings, in order for us to receive God's favor, in order for us to see the fruition of what he has in store for us, we have to play our part. And one of the things that I believe that many believers are guilty of, and I'm one of those people, is holding on to things that we should be letting go, things that we should have let go a long time ago. So it may sound simple. So, well, let's let it go, let it go. That may sound simple, but actually, when it's time to do it, that's another story, right? We cling to memories, cling to people, beliefs, habits, expectations. And we identify with those things. And they're not doing anything. They're not serving us anything. They're not really serving us. But you want to know why? Because we are caught up in what we call familiarity. Familiarity, that's the problem. We become familiar with something and we become comfortable with it. It doesn't mean it's good for us, but we're familiar with it. This is the reason why it's so difficult sometimes to let go of things that are in the past. This is one of the reasons why we need to make sure that we focus on understanding that when we don't let go of these things that are in our past, when we don't let go of habits and beliefs, we stagnate ourselves. It's time to reinvent ourselves. This is 2026. 2025 is over. We can't live that anymore. We want to go forward. And the way to do that is to let go of those things that have been holding us up. So now I want to go over number one that I shared with you all last week. Remember, if you're taking notes, this is a recap. Number one, old grudges. Now, we're talking about the art of letting go. So number one, old grudges that drain emotional energy. Old grudges that drain emotional energy. Holding on to grudges keeps you anchored to a past version of yourself. Letting go means what happened was okay. It wasn't okay. It simply means you refuse to let it define you anymore. It's not going to define you anymore. I'm not saying that that shouldn't bother you. I'm not saying that you're in denial. All I'm saying that it should not define who you are going forward. So number one, old grudges that drain emotional energy. Number two, identities from your younger years that no longer fit you. Identities from your younger years that no longer fit you. All right. Many people cling to who they used to be in the past, like being an athlete, or maybe being somebody that maybe you had some fame or notoriety in the past, and that's not you anymore. Maybe you're just a person who's settled right now and you want to just live an ordinary life. But so many people cling to the past, because they want to be people pleasers. They still want the accolades, and they're not content unless they get those things. Sometimes we have to let go of those identities because we're growing, we're evolving. We're not that person anymore. But we have to accept the fact that we're not that person. So we need to let that thing go. So number two, identifying from your younger years that no longer fits you. Number two. Number three, the belief that you must live life according to other people's expectations. Number three, the belief that you must live life according to other people's expectations. This is one that can follow you for many, many decades, maybe even the rest of your life. Sometimes we just get caught up in how other people see us, and we're trying to what I call being a people pleaser. Okay, it might be society, it might be your community, it might be your parents, a partner, whatever it may be. But for some reason, you're trying to live up to how they see you. You're trying to live up to expectations that they put in your path. You've got to let those things go. Let those things go. Those are things that are in the past. You should not be a people pleaser. You cannot do what other people expect you to do. So number three, the belief that you must live life according to other people's expectations. Number four, friendships that stopped feeling mutual years ago. Friendships that stopped feeling mutual years ago. We all have friendships that lasted long past the natural expiration date. How many people can relate to that? There are people in your life right now, you're trying to ask yourself, why are they still here? I should have been let that go. It might be a boyfriend. It might be a friend, a childhood friend. It might be a neighbor that you used to fellowship with, and it's just not working for you anymore. You're not feeling it. That person is not part of God's plan. It's not about spurning these people. You're not trying to mistreat these people, but for some reason, you're trying to move forward. God is trying to put you in another realm. God is trying to take you to another plateau, and you want to take those people with you. Everybody can't go with you. Everybody's not part of God's plan for your life. So you've got to get to a place where you understand that this is a friendship that stopped being mutual years ago. So that's number four, friendships that stopped feeling mutual years ago. And number five, the fear of being alone. This is one that I talked about last week, and I think they were really concerned about this one because it was a little controversial. But it's the fear of being alone. This fear keeps countless people in unhappy marriages, draining friendships, and unfulfilling situations. It whispers things like, you'll never find anybody better. You're not strong enough to be on your own. And being alone means you failed. Something is wrong with you. And that's a taboo that everybody seems to just attach to people who are by themselves. But that's not the issue. Being alone isn't the problem. That's not the problem. Being in the wrong company, that's the problem. I mentioned to you all last week about the book that I've written. I miss the hugs, but not the hurts. And one of the chapters in my book is, Can You Stand to Be Alone? I understand that God made us social people. He tells you in his word that it's not good for man to be alone. But remember, before Adam met Eve, he was by himself in the garden. He was content. So in order for us to be able to be with another individual, we have to learn to be whole, unique individuals. We need to learn to love ourselves, accept ourselves, and respect ourselves. And then it'll be time for us to connect with somebody else. And that's the most important thing. So there's nothing wrong with being alone. Alone could be a good thing if it teaches you how to learn who you are. That's the most important thing. So many people don't even know who they are because they've been spending so much time with the wrong people who are not validating them. They're not feeding them positivity. They're in the wrong space all the time. And you don't want that. So, number 5, the fear of being alone. These are things we need to let go. These are things that we've held on too long to. The fear of being alone. Now, the next section, the next 5 that I'm going to share with you are brand new. So we're going to go on now to the next 5. If you're taking notes, we're talking about, again, the art of letting things go. 10 of them. There are 10 things that we've been holding on too long. So number 6, if you're taking notes, number 6, mistakes they made decades ago. Mistakes they've made decades ago. There have been mistakes that we've made long time ago, decades ago, and we're still holding on to it. Regret is one of the heaviest emotional burdens a person can carry. Let me say that again. Regret is one of the heaviest emotions a person can carry. People torture themselves for choices they made when they were younger. They were less informed or they were overwhelmed. We all are guilty of that. We all have made choices because we were immature. We all have made choices because we were not informed properly and we were overwhelmed. That's why we made those kinds of choices. That's why we made those mistakes. But self-forgiveness, ladies and gentlemen, self-forgiveness is a psychological turning point. It's the moment you can say, I didn't know then what I know now. Begin to say that to yourself if that's where you are right now. I didn't know then what I know now. And that's okay. That's okay. Letting go of past mistakes doesn't erase them. It doesn't erase it. It just simply removes the power in your present. It simply removes the power that they had in your present. And that's the purpose of make sure that when you make mistakes in the past, let those things go. So number 6, holding on to mistakes they made decades ago. Number 6. Number 7, old versions of love that never quite healed. Wow, that's a big one. Old versions of love that never quite healed. Some people carry heartbreak like an invisible wound, a lost love. Maybe it was a betrayal, a breakup that shattered their sense of worth. Even years later, the emotional imprint lingers on. There are people who are in that state right now. That's why I wrote that book. I miss the hugs, but not the hurts, because I was that person many years ago. But clinging to old love stories prevents new ones from coming into your life. When you hold on to past breakups, hurts, being betrayed, how can God send someone else into your life? God is not going to send someone into a space that's warped, that's damaged. That needs to be cleared out so he can send someone that's fresh for you. It's going to help you grow and evolve and learn to love yourself and accept yourself. That person's going to be a partner. They're going to compliment you. That's what you want. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means reclaiming the part of you that got stuck in that memory. Okay, you need to reclaim that. Make sure you understand. Listen, yes, I was hurt. I am not in denial, but I am not going to allow that to be my present. I am not going to let that define me, that past hurt. So number 7, we're talking about letting go of things, old versions of love that never quite healed. Claim your healing, ladies and gentlemen. Don't let past hurts, betrayals, and breakups shatter your world. And there are many people right now who are living in that past. They can't move on. God is trying to give them somebody to love and to care for them. And everybody they meet that's new reminds them of that person. They hold everybody accountable and blame everybody. If they go through something, it's a trigger. And it just makes them crazy because they feel like everybody's out to hurt me. I'll never be able to love again. And that's a terrible thing to experience. That is a terrible thing to go through. So let that go. Old versions of love that never quite healed. Number 8, we're winding down. Number 8, habits that become comfortable, but they're destructive. Habits that become comfortable, but they are destructive. Comfort is addictive. Let me say that one again. Being comfortable is addictive. Even destructive routines can feel safe. Because why? Because they're predictable. They're predictable. People hold on to habits that delay their dreams. They hold on to they hold on to habits that damage their health. They hold on to habits that drain their energy. They hold on to habits that numb them emotionally. Letting go requires honesty, not judgment. You can't change what you refuse to acknowledge. If you don't acknowledge that there's an issue and you're in denial, you can't move forward. You can't move forward. But once you see the habit clearly, transformation becomes possible. Once you see that habit is destructive in your life, transformation becomes possible. So number 8, habits that become comfortable, but they're destructive. We're talking about the art of letting go, things that we need to let go of. And this is one of them. Habits that become comfortable, but they're destructive. Number 8. Number 9. Number 9, if you're taking notes, the need to be liked by everyone. Ouch. Ouch. The need to be liked by everyone. Trying to be universally liked is one of the most exhausting emotional burdens a person can carry. Would you all agree with that? Think about that. Trying to be universally liked is one of the most exhausting emotional burdens a person can carry. It leads to over-explaining. Are you a person that's always trying to explain your way or your motives or how you feel, always trying to explain it? People pleasing. Do you find yourself being a people pleaser because you don't want anybody to correct you, or you don't want anybody to not dislike you? So you want to make sure that everybody's happy. Can't do that. Overburdened out. You're overly burned out, emotionally burned out. And you don't have boundaries. You have very weak boundaries. Therefore, people can just do and say what they want to do and say because you have not set boundaries. And this is what happens when you have a need to be liked by everyone. But here's the truth. Let me give you a truth. This is so profound. And I know you all have heard that before, but I'm going to say it to you again. Here's the truth. You could be the kindest, most generous, most sincere person, and someone is still going to dislike you. Think about that. I don't care how nice you are, how giving you are, how much you compromise. There's going to be somebody out there that's going to say, I don't like you. I don't like you. So therefore, why are you wasting your time trying to please everybody? Letting go the need for universal approval makes you lighter, happier, more authentic, and it gives you more power. Let me say that one again. Letting go of the need for universal approval makes you lighter, happier, more authentic, and it gives you power. You have the power. It's in your hand. Not in their hands. It's in your hands. So number 9, the things we're going to be letting go. The need to be liked by everyone. No matter what you do, there's going to be somebody out there who's not going to like you. You can take that to the bank. Number 9, Number 10, last but not least, number 10, and this is so important, the belief that it's too late to change their life. Do you know how many people live in bondage because they think it's too late to change? They think it's too late to change. Perhaps the most tragic form of holding on is the belief that change is no longer possible. I'm going to repeat that. Perhaps the most tragic form of holding on is the belief that change is no longer possible. People cling to this idea long after the circumstances can still be transformed. They still don't get it. They convince themselves, my best years are behind me. I missed out on that chance. I am who I am. Nothing can change now. But this is rarely true, ladies and gentlemen. Human beings are capable of reinvention. You can reinvent yourself at any age, whatever it may be. You are capable of reinventing yourself. If you're a person who reads the Bible and you understand how God used people, some of the greatest leaders, some of the greatest moves of God were used by older people. You just because you're in your 60s or your 70s, even your 80s, whatever it might be, it doesn't mean you're all washed up. Even a person that might be in their 40s and 50s, you're not too young or old to engage and try to be a different person. But some people, they cling to the past, they cling to their mistakes, they listen to what people tell them, and they feel like, oh, I can't change. This is it for me. That is a self-defeating life when you feel like that. When you feel like that, you are defeating yourself. But don't you understand, as long, just like your body creates new cells every day, your skin, your different organs, God is always reinventing you in your body, in your natural body. So if God can reinvent you in your natural body, what do you think can happen emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually, even your natural state? God wants you to evolve. Every day he gives you life is an opportunity for you to evolve and be the best version of yourself. So you don't want to believe that it's too late to change. No matter what you've been through, no matter about the mistakes you've made, I don't care about your past. You are in a position right now where you can change. So get rid of that belief that it's too late for you right now. So I've shared with you tonight 10 areas that people hold on too long. And I believe that if you let go of these 10 areas, I'm going to do a recap. Let go of these 10 areas. Old grudges that drain emotional energy, number one. Number two, identities from your younger years that no longer fit you. Number three, the belief that you must live life according to others' expectations. Number four, friendships that stopped feeling mutual years ago. Number five, the fear of being alone. Number six, mistakes they made decades ago. Number seven, old versions of love that never quite healed. Number eight, habits that become comfortable but they're destructive. Number nine, the need to be liked by everyone. And last but not least, ladies and gentlemen, the belief that it's too late to change their life. These are things or habits that we need to let go of. It's in our past. Let it go. Let's look forward to the future. Let's look forward to being the best version of ourselves. Let's look forward to God using us. This is year 2026, the year of fulfillment, the year of awakening, the year of letting go of all those past things that God does not want us to hold on to. Ladies and gentlemen, it's your time. It's your season. And as I always say, all is well. And it is, all is well. Every area of your life, all is well. It's going to change. It's going to get better. There's hope out there as long as you believe. And make sure that you take the time and not incorporate these things in your life and let go of those things that you held on to too long. My name is Dr. T, and I thank you so much for allowing me to share. Thank you.
All right. Wonderful. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very much, Queen Dr. T. Really appreciate that was awesome. Um, You see, as you said, the natural body change itself. Every organ, some slower than some, because if you were to look at the skin, and if you notice your skin, it get flaky because you get a new skin. Every 2 to 4 weeks, you have a new skin. And so when you don't train the skin, then it loses its elasticity.
Mm.
When you don't exercise, it loses its elasticity. When you don't drink water, it loses its elasticity. And then what happens? You get wrinkled and you look old. But that's our fault. We think
Mhm.
that we should get old. Well, that's what we think. But unfortunately, that's really not the case. The liver, your liver, um, I think it's anywhere from 3 months to a year. You get a new liver. But watch
Mm.
this now. 1%, 1% per year of your heart is renewed. Very long. It's very slow. It's a very slow process. And so when we get heart disease, don't expect it to repair immediately. You have to have a lifestyle in order. You smoking, right? You smoking and you are doing that for years. And then you get lung cancer and you get this and that. And then you want that to be changed in a week after you spend um, more than 3, 4 decades damaging your lungs. So change is possible. You have to change and do something different. So when we are stuck in habits, and I am really appreciative of all of this information here, um, you know, the art of letting go. We hold on to stuff for too long. Um, a lot of us are hoarders. Hoarders. We hold on to stuff. Don't want to let it go. Even though the man cuff you, beat you, you're still holding on to him. For what reason, I don't know. But that's us, I guess, where we are. Um, love to hold on to stuff. Let us, as especially as according to what Queen Dr. T just laid down upon our hearts, to let go things that people hold on to longer than they should. Let us let go. Let go. Especially of the bad, negative stuff. Let us let go and let God. Because it don't make sense you let go and you don't have anything to hold on to. The one person we are to hold on to for dear life, it's our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Over to you, Dr. T. I don't know if you want to comment on that.
Okay, Tony,
No, Dr. T.
what did you want me to say, Dr. Derek?
Oh, I thought you wanted to comment. I see you.
No,
Okay.
no.
All right. All right. Over to you, Pastor Tony.
Great presentation as always, Dr. T. And I could relate to a lot from the list. I had one question. regrets, how do you, what are steps to take to get over regrets? Or how should they be handled in letting go? Because I have a lot of regrets.
But one of the things I believe, Tony, is to understand that you are human. No one in this world is going to get through life without making a mistake. Nobody. And remember, and I'm not trying to get all deep and spiritual, but I have to. You know, when I think about what God did or what Christ did on the cross, he died for every regret. You know what I mean? You, and if you think we say, well, I'm not worthy, and you're absolutely right. You are not worthy. You're absolutely right about that. But he became unworthy so that you can be worthy. And I think the only way that we can get over regrets is to understand that I'm in this flesh, and he lets me know that there's nothing good about this flesh, because we're going to always do something wrong in our thoughts, you know, in our what we say with our mouth and what we do. We all have a past. Some people worse than others. That's true. But when we get to the point where we learn how and understand that we were born to make error. We were erroneous when we came into the world. We were erroneous because we came through Adam's seed. So we need to learn to understand and let the power of God, let the power and the love of Jesus Christ that he performed on that cross take precedence. And learn that if he forgave us, he said, if he's for us, who could be against us? And that includes you. You don't have a right to be against yourself. Does that make sense? You don't have a right to be against yourself. If he said, if I'm for you, if I paid the price, you understand? If I paid the price, it's just like a person who you're stopped by a police officer and you were speeding. You're speeding, and the officer pulls you over, and he says, "Do you know why I stopped you?" And you said, "Yes, I was speeding." He said, "Give me your license and your registration." Okay, and he goes and he pulls everything up, and he gives you back your license and registration, and he tells you, "I've paid your bill." But I was speeding. Yes, you were. But I've paid your ticket. And then he tells you, not only did I pay your ticket, but I am going to buy you a brand new vehicle because this one right here looks kind of raggedy. I'm gonna buy your new vehicle. You understand what I'm saying? It's like God has done it. He's showing you that even in spite of yourself, I can love you. I can pay the price for you, and I can give you things that you don't even deserve. So when you find regret coming, understand that if he forgave you, if he can forgive you, you have to learn to forgive yourself and not live in your past. He knows that your mind is going to go back there. Just like it happened, get to a place where you begin to say with your mouth, I forgive myself. It's a confession. Like you confess to Christ, confess that you forgive yourself, confess the mistakes that you've made in your past. And that's what you have to do. It didn't happen overnight. And it may not heal overnight, but you've got to start somewhere, and it can start with the confession of your mouth and believing that the work that Jesus Christ did on that cross is true. And I believe that'll be one of the steps that you can take to overcome regret, because it's the enemy. He's going to come to your mind and remind you of all your faults, but you need to remind him where he's going, and then you'll be all right. Remind him where he's going, and then it'll make sense to you. You understand what I'm saying? Remind him where he's going. And that's my advice. That's my advice.
Thank you, Dr. T. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
In addition to that, thank you very much, Queen Dr. T. You see, what I find very interesting in this life is that no person on the planet would engage in a fist fight with someone and then punch themselves. Let me say that again. No person, no conscious, well-thinking person would engage in a physical fist fight with someone and punch themselves. No, nobody not doing that. But yet still,
Mm-hmm.
We punch ourselves every single day.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what
Mm-hmm.
regret is. Regret is punching ourselves every single day. Because whether you know it or not, we are engaged in a fist fight, Well, we call it war. The word of God call it war. And it actually started in heaven. Revelation 12:7 or 7:12. 12:7. War in heaven. War in heaven. Mercy. Can you imagine? War. Where? In heaven. And Michael and the archangel fight and blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, when we find out the fact of who we are, and I guess, that is exactly what Queen Dr. T is saying. Know who you are. That's number one. Number two, know whose you are. Because when you know who you are and whose you are, then it doesn't matter what you do last night. Hey, it doesn't matter what you do 1 hour ago. Because Jesus paid it all.
That's right. That's right.
He paid what we did. He paid what we are doing.
Yes, Lord.
And he paid what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Oh, hallelujah. Praise the Lord. I feel like preaching now. But he paid it all.
Paid it all.
Now, you and I is because we don't know whose we are. Then we treat ourselves like, some old dirty cloth. I mean, dirty cloth.
Mm-hmm.
That's how we treat ourselves. We treat ourselves like doormat. And so when others treat us that way, that's how we treat ourselves. And so therefore, others just treat us the same way. And then we get upset at that person who is treating us like doormat. Let us know who we are and whose we are. Because Ephesians tell us that we are royal priesthood, a chosen generation. Let us recognize who we are and whose we are in the sight of God. Not in your sight, not in my sight. And so who cares what others think about you? Remember Daniel, when the rulers of Babylon wanted to find an occasion against Daniel, they couldn't. They couldn't. Because Daniel know who he is and whose he is. And so they couldn't find an occasion. And I'm sure Daniel don't have an occasion against himself. Nobody carry themselves to court. Nobody. Nobody take themselves to court. Your Honor, I have a case against myself. No, nobody. Praise the Lord. So why do we have an occasion against ourselves? Why do we have an occasion against ourselves? Why do we put down ourselves? Why do we think pessimistical about ourselves? Why do we say things like I can't, I don't think, I am not able to. Why we do that most of the time? We put down ourselves, we beat ourselves, and let us realize who we are and whose
And whose we are.
we are.
Whose we are. Yes. Whose we
Thank
are. Yep.
That's it for me.
Yep. Take it
Wonderful.
in.
All right. Thank you very much, Queen Dr. T. That
Thank you.
was an awesome, inspiring, wonderful 10 um, art of letting go. Nice. Thank you very much. Um, why there were some heavy duty hitters there in there, boy. That looked like a sermon for the congregants. Look like a sermon for the congregants, because I tell you, I don't know why church people beat up on themselves so often. I don't know. I don't know. And we should be a little better as it relates to, you know. Anyway, thank you very much, Queen Dr. T. That
Thank
was
you.
awesome. Awesome sauce. Awesome sauce. Anyway, as we move into the computer and technology class, um, just a quick one here. We are going to get into understanding the operating system. You and your computer speak different languages. Now you say hello and all of that, Spanish, Chinese. The computer don't speak that way. It speaks in ones and zeros. That is how the communication aspect of the computer is. You can't communicate directly with the computer, but that's where the operating system comes in. This is what the operating system does. When we input something in the computer, even though we are using the keyboard and the keyboard is alphanumeric, right? Alphabet and numbers, right? That is not how the computer now sees the language. The computer change that language when you input it into the system. It change that language and put it into a binary language, which is ones and zeros. And that is how the operating system view what you are putting in. So the keyboard put what you want to say or what you want to do, right? And then the operating system figure it out with that binary system, right? And so the operating system, or OS, is the program that lets you interact with your computer. Together, the operating system and the computer hardware from a compatible system will determine that. Here's the many different operating system. We have the Mac OS and of course the Microsoft Windows. You also have Linux or Linux system also. But the two more noticeable and easily to remember and the more dominant one in our society today is the Windows, which is from Microsoft, and the OS, which is from the Macintosh, that's a short for Macintosh system. Windows comes preloaded on most personal computers, whether it's um, desktop or laptop, while the Mac OS runs on all new Macintosh. Okay. When operating system are just for desktop and laptops. Operating system also is for tablets and of course the mobile devices. So you have the Apple iOS or Google, which is Android. All right. So those are the two types there in the mobile world, which are designed for interaction with small touchscreen. Before downloading a new program or application, be aware that it may not be available for your operating system. Not all operating system can download all applications. Everything that is run on every computer or device, it is known as an app or an application, right? And so even your Word document, it's an app. It's an app that you download whether on your computer or on your smart device, whatever device, it is an app. And so every app, especially when you're trying to go from Android to Apple, that is even worse, right? A lot of the Android application doesn't work on the Apple. All right. So be aware of that also. So even though somebody is boasting about a certain app, you might not find it anywhere in the Play Store of either, right? So if you see a application on someone's phone, try to find out if it's the same type of operating system first and foremost. Don't just run, go away, and so well, you're going to look for that particular app. All right, because it might not be available because that person, the app is on an iPhone and you have an Android, or the person have an Android and you have an iPhone. So the first thing you need to rectify in your mind that both of you is on the same operating system, and then um, you know you can look for it in your Play Store or your iOS store, right? So some applications work on all devices while others only work on certain devices. So get to know your operating system to see how it works and what it does. All right. So operating system is an integral part, very integral part in your computer, whether it's a Mac or it is a Windows. All right. So thank you all very much. Really appreciate that um, get that little update or that little class, and we will dive in a little bit more in respective to where something else is concerned for next week. Thank you all very much. Any questions or concerns or anything to divulge where anything is concerned? All right. Please don't be afraid of computers or devices. When you are using an application, when you are using an application, the as long as it's not a virus, the phone or the device will not shut down. The only time the device might shut down is if you are going into the system of the device, and then maybe something you might play in with something. But if you are on an app, feel free to just try to get to know your application, whichever application you might be using. I did see Queen Pastor Tony hand was up. Go ahead.
Um, Great presentation, Dr. Derek. And I know you know quite a bit about computers. The computer that I've been using for quite a long time, I believe I had shared, had went out on me, and I wasn't able to get it to come back up for whatever reason. And at the time, all of my reports and things I would save up on OneDrive. And so I guess my question is, because my present computer, I have not subscribed to Windows 10 yet. So if my programs or my reports on OneDrive, would I, when I do purchase my Windows 10, will I be able to access them, or would
Yes,
I
and
be able to
you
access them now?
you should be able to access them now, because OneDrive is not based on an operating system, or on the level of operating system.
Okay,
OneDrive is just a storage that
right.
Google use. And so from once you log in to OneDrive with the email from whatever device, and that is the beauty about
Okay,
OneDrive, is that
okay,
it gives you the ability to access your files or photos or videos or data from any
okay,
device, anywhere you are. That is why they promote the OneDrive, so that you can
okay,
access it. So all you need to do is just log in with the email and password that you use for OneDrive.
okay. Because the um, on this particular computer, well, laptop, I logged into OneDrive, but I don't have access to all the other files, because I had a few hundred um, um, folders and reports and all of that, and I haven't been able to really bring them up. You know, I brought up a few, but not everything as a whole.
Okay.
So, and
Uh,
I was told I had to, or I have Windows on the system, or I wouldn't be able to do a lot of things. But the Windows that I had, I was paying $100 a year for. So, and
which
I
was what?
don't have,
Which
and
was
a
what?
lot of those, pardon me,
Which was what?
10,
Windows
Windows
10.
10. Yes.
So what do you have now?
I have no subscription to Windows right now, but I was told that
No,
regardless of
then
whether
if
I
you
had a
no.
subscription
Well,
or not.
yeah, well, that is a subscription. It's that and so therefore, um it you have to pay the subscription for, so that your OneDrive, you have access, because what you're describing now is that you don't have full access to your OneDrive, and
Right,
that is because you were paying monthly. When you're using, and that's not the operating system, I think you're more describing the you're more describing the office. I think it's the
okay,
office you are describing, because
yeah,
if you are paying if you are paying an annual or a monthly subscription. No, annual. I think it's annual.
annual, it's
Annual, right?
annual.
Annual. So if you are paying an annual this subscription, if you did not renew that annual subscription, then OneDrive also falls under that, because
Okay,
it goes with uh, uh um your suite. It goes with the
okay,
suite.
because a lot of my reports were generated under the Word um, application for OneDrive. I
Hmm.
mean, for Windows 10.
Right,
or Office
right.
365.
365.
So I
So your
once
office.
I right.
Mhm.
So once I subscribe, again, I should have access to all of my information in OneDrive, in that
Yes,
OneDrive.
yes, yes, yes. But
Okay.
I would let me see now. You see, I don't use 365, because 365, as you see, it's an annual payment.
Yes.
What right? What I use is a one-time purchase, which is student and what again? Um,
Okay.
Office, Microsoft Office, student and something another. I don't remember. But I pay
Okay.
one time. I pay 165, I think, at the time, which is a few
Okay.
years ago.
Okay.
165 or 175. I don't remember. But it's 100 and
So,
something I paid, and that is it. I
so
do have an
my,
annual subscription.
okay,
Most people
Microsoft
why them use
Office.
no, well, let's say most people why them use Office 365 is because it gives them added some additional applications,
Okay.
which is like um, what again? I think like Excel
Yeah.
publisher,
Excel
Excel
access.
publisher, Excel
Yeah.
publisher, and some other
Yeah.
things that the student thing do have. So
Okay.
yes, I guess that is why you got that route. But yes, you'd have to pay the subscription in order to access, basically.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Derek.
Yes, you're welcome. Mhm. All right, yeah, wonderful. So, if you are not doing heavy duty stuff, right? Because most of the time, that's what Microsoft pushes. Microsoft pushes the 165, Office 165. That is on their forefront. You have to really dig a little more in order to get the student. I'm going to look up for what it really name and tell you next week. But that's the one I normally purchase because I'm not doing a heavy duty. I need my PowerPoint, as you can see. I love my PowerPoint. I love well, everybody have to have Word, right? And really
Right.
and truly for me, those are the two things that I really use, PowerPoint and Word. So
Okay.
I don't get
One
into all those things.
one more question. So
Mhm.
if I try to buy a package, the type of package that you're referring to, would I would I be able to get into that OneDrive, or would it have to be 365 that in order
Mm,
to
I,
because
I,
it's like hundreds of files,
yeah, it's best
for
to at
20
least go.
years.
Yeah, it's best to at least go with um the the 365. I think they have
Okay.
a monthly. They have a monthly. I think they have a
Okay.
monthly one also. So you maybe can search for that and maybe
Okay.
subscribe for a month because I think 365 have monthly. But most of the time, them
Okay.
just tell it the year workout a lot cheaper than the
Yeah.
monthly, right? But
Okay.
I would suggest that you do a month and so that you can gather all your files,
Okay.
preferably. You see, this is the thing that most people don't do, right? Hold
Yeah.
on, hold on. This is the thing that most people don't do that I will encourage you to do. Please, you don't do it, but I'm encouraging you, please, to do it. Let me show you what I'm talking about. Now, let me put it in front of me.
Okay.
In 2001, I think, or maybe 2000, or maybe it's 95, no, maybe 98. In the 90s, beginning of 2000, I purchased this external hard drive, right?
Yes.
And
Yes. Yes.
and hold on, watch this now. At the time, this was super. This was 500 gigabyte. Just that? Yes. 500 gigabyte of
Wow.
storage. Okay? 500 gigabyte. All
Wow.
right? Watch this now.
Yes.
Watch this now. What did I say? 500 gigabyte or
Yes.
megabyte? Megabyte. 500 megabyte. Sorry.
Megabytes.
500
Okay.
megabyte. This. Okay?
Okay.
Watch this now. Watch this. About this. About this. Five 5 years ago. About this. Right? Watch here.
Yeah.
Right? 5 years ago. About this little one now. And this is 5 terabyte. 5 terabyte. Look there. Hmm? Yeah? 5 terabyte.
Yeah.
Buy one of these and get all your documents. You cannot go wrong with this. See? You get locked out of your own file them and so on because you know pay
Okay.
the little money. Now I
Yeah.
think it was and watch this now, you know. If I remember, I bought this for $150.
Okay.
$150, 500
Okay.
gigabyte, 500 megabyte. That is half a
Okay.
terabyte, half, right? And I bought
Okay.
this for $120 and it's 5 terabyte. So
Ooh.
150 for this one, 500 megabyte, which is half a terabyte.
Mm-hmm.
And this is 5 terabyte for $30 less. Okay, go figure.
Okay.
So I
Wow.
always back up on a
Okay.
external hard drive, right?
Thank
Always.
you.
And another
Thank
thing
you.
that I do is I always back up my contacts. Always back up your contacts on Google Contacts. So
Okay.
that is with a Gmail. You have to have a Gmail. And then you
Okay.
back up all your phone contacts. All your phone contacts. And you see, I have a lot of phone contacts, maybe about 7,000. So, you know, I don't want to lose those. So I back up
Yeah.
what I do now. I back it up on um on Google,
Mhm.
my contacts, Google contacts, and then I I export it as a
Okay.
Excel. Export it as a Excel.
Okay.
Okay. And so
Okay.
no matter what phone fall off the planet, they steal it, they do whatever, it lost, it drop in the water, it drop in the lake, it drop in the river, it drop in the ocean,
Mhm.
contacts. Always have my contacts. I have my contacts from 1995 until now.
Okay.
Good. So
Okay. Thank you.
yeah,
I'm
see
going
if you
to
can just
invest in external.
see if you can just
Yes.
pay for a month. See if you can pay for a month and get
Okay.
a external hard drive and ensure that you have them there on your external hard drive. All right. As I have some file there from 1995. All right, wonderful. Thank you very much. Go ahead, Queen Dr. Nadu. Queen Dr. Nadu.
Hello, thank you, Dr. Dave. I want to say thank you to Dr. T
Mm-hmm.
because I used to do uh, the stuff that she talking about, the pleasing other people. And
Mm.
then when you come to lose, they don't even know that you lose because of them. You are the only one to carry the guilt, everything that come with it. So it's a lesson learned. You got to do what is good for you, not to make somebody
Mm-hmm.
else happy or fund your action on others. Thank you again. Now coming to the computer, I have problem finding or sharing my downloads. Do I need to name them before downloading? I don't know because there's so many numbers and character that come out, and I struggle to find exactly what I download. Yeah.
Okay. What kind of a file are they? Is it a picture? Is it a PDF? Is it a Word document? What file is it?
All of them. Once I download it, I just see the sign, it pop up on my screen, and I know it's download. Now to find it, maybe if I find it easily, that means I download only one thing that day, and I can refer to the dates or time to take it. If I download like 2, 3, and I want to use one, I have to go through it, look at the picture, a small picture before I click on it. I don't know. I just need. I want to know if there is a easy way to find your file, your downloads.
Well, let me tell you, you don't need to find your downloads as long as you file them away properly. Because Windows, Windows, Windows is just like you have an office. You have filing cabinets, you have drawers, you have what have you, all over the place in your office. So the computer is just like filing away your documents and pictures, etc., etc. If you don't do it that way, then you're going to have a lot of problems like what you're having now.
Mm.
And so therefore, let me just show you quickly what I'm speaking of. Now, when you download or when you work on or when you create a document,
Mhm.
whatever you do, you have to file it away properly, right? You have to do the filing properly.
Mm.
Okay. So, in other words, let me show you what I'm talking of.
Okay.
In other words, when you first open your your folders, right? When you first open your folders,
Mhm.
this is what going to come up on your screen, right? You have desktop, and a lot of people just keep everything on their desktop. And so when you look at their desktop, which is here, the um, the blank screen here, which is known as your desktop.
Yeah.
People desktop full with all of these little apps, whether it's a Word document app, it's a PowerPoint, it's a PDF, it's a picture. When you look, on their desktop. It's filled with apps. Now, what you are saying is that when you look at your downloads, which is inside here, in here is full with with um with little icons. Okay, it maybe look like this, right? Which is even a little more difficult for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to come down here at the bottom right of
Yeah.
my folder,
Mm.
and I click on display using thumbnails. That is how I like to see my what I have on my screen. So what I do is everything that is a document, and they start you out that way, you know. If you really look in your file jacket, you will
Okay.
see document, picture,
Mm-hmm.
music, video, downloads. But people don't use them. They just pack up downloads, or they pack up um, their desktop. Now, when something is downloaded to your downloads file, because that's where I am right now,
Mm-hmm.
downloads file, right? These are something I did today. This, you see, this I'm going to delete because I got through at the end of day, and and at the end of the week, I got through and keep what I want, and I delete what I don't want. All right. So, seeing, take for instance, this picture. This is a picture. This is a picture. This is a picture. All right. So these are three pictures
Mm-hmm.
that I either got from WhatsApp, or I got from taking a picture, or wherever. However, I created it myself. Right. Now,
Yeah.
these are related to something that I am doing. So these are pictures. So for argument's sake, like this is a background. This is a background. So I would copy it, I would name it what I want, first of all, and then I cut. I open a new tab so that I can have both of them. Open a new tab and click on picture because it is a picture, right? Now,
Mm.
if you notice, all of my pictures are placed in folders. They are just not randomly all over the place in pictures because I would lose my mind, especially because I do a lot of things. So everything for unpassive is in a folder. I don't have to go anywhere. I don't have to look nowhere. Everything for unpassive is in a folder. So I double click. Then everything that I create
Mm-hmm.
is in this folder, the APS. That's a application that I use to create, like the pictures that I use for the flyer, right? So all of the creation that I do is in here. So when I finish creating, I save for each day. So for Tuesday, today, Tuesday, right? If I go into deep dive, everything here, I have old, I have other, I have recent, and then this is what I just am doing for this month. So if you notice, this one is the first, Tuesday the first, Thursday the second, the sixth, Tuesday the 8th, Thursday the 13th, Tuesday the 15th. Um, sorry, I think it's Thursday. Oh, sorry, I started Thursday. Thursday was the first of January. Sorry. So Thursday the first, January,
Yeah.
Tuesday the 6th, Thursday the 8th, Tuesday the 13th, Thursday the 15th, Tuesday the 20th, last week, Thursday the 22nd, today, the 27th. So everything is labeled properly and is in proper folders. So therefore, I don't miss when I'm looking for something. If I'm looking for something for Dream Team, then I go into the Dream Team folder,
Okay.
right? Everything is in a folder. Dream Team not going to be into deep dive. Deep dive not going to be into Mindset Monday. Mindset Monday not going to be into things from a church, because
Is it
all of
the
those
same
things going to be confusing.
for the
So
Apple
yes,
devices?
so yes, you have to name it
Mhm.
properly, and you have to put it in a folder.
Okay.
Okay?
It doesn't matter if it's the Apple device or oh.
It doesn't matter. You're trying to save something now,
Mhm.
for future use. So you don't need, you want to be able to look for it. That's what you're talking about, you're not
Mhm.
finding, because you just have everything that I have in this folder, this folder, this folder, this folder, this folder, this folder. You just have it right there.
Okay.
And then when you download it from maybe WhatsApp, or you might download it from Instagram, or you might download it from Facebook, or you might download it from the computer, all right, from off the a website, or a web browser, or something of the sort. So most of the time they don't give it a name, right?
Yes.
So it comes with maybe numbers like this one right here,
Mm-hmm.
this
Yeah.
one, right? It does
Yeah.
come with numbers. So this is not a name. But that is the reason I also put it in this format down here. Because if it was like this, right? If it was like this, all I'm seeing is just an icon and a description and numbers. And now at least I kind of name some of them. But
Yes.
what you need to do now
Mm-hmm.
is you need to go to the bottom right,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
Click on the second one to the right, which it says display item by using thumbnails. And
Mm-hmm.
so you click on that so you can actually see, especially if it's a picture, you can see. But if it's a document now, if it's a document, right,
Yeah.
then it's a little bit more difficult,
Mm.
because documents not going to show a picture. It's just going to show that it is a word. This one is a word. This one is Excel. That's all it's going to show. And PowerPoint going to look like PowerPoint, right? PowerPoint going to look like PowerPoint. And of course, that's why you have to name them. So this is Mindset Monday, right?
Yeah.
This is Deep Dive for
Mm-hmm.
Thursday.
Mm.
This is Deep Dive for Thursday. Jacqueline Warner, JW, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is Pastor Tony, Deep Dive for Thursday. This
Mm.
is um, Thursday for Yvonne Finn. So
Mm.
you have to name it. You
Very
have to name
organized.
them so
Mm.
that you can easily find them. You have to name them. You have
Mm.
to name your filing.
Okay.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Thank you. I have to
Okay.
put the work.
Name them and
Yeah.
put them in a file.
In the.
Yes. Create a file
Mm-hmm.
and put them in a. That's supposed to come to this in one of the computer classes. Organizing your desktop or your laptop, organizing your computer. That is one of the classes. So
Mm.
basically, I just did a class. You have to
I don't
organize your.
have anything on the
Mhm,
uh, first screen, the desktop, because I have one picture only, but the rest I put them in the Finder.
mhm,
And then when I click on it, I can see all the icons. Yeah,
mhm. Okay, wonderful.
I will
All
work
right.
on that part because it give me headache.
Mm. Yes. You see it. It's easier when you
Mm.
download, you name it, put it in a file,
Mhm.
file it away.
Yeah.
Now when you have so many, now the way to do it is to get all the pictures into the picture folder,
Mhm.
get all the document, your Word, your PowerPoint, your PDF, get all of those into your document,
Mhm.
get all your music, because you used to download a lot of music video.
Mm.
So get your music into your video folders. If it's a video, get your videos into the video folder, get your music into the music folder. If it's just MP3, just the music, right? Etc. etc. You have to do that because the more you get and download and create and this and that
Mhm.
is the more cluttered.
Yeah.
Just picture you go into your house or into your home office. Picture you go into your home office and all your photos, those thousands of photos just throw down in the office, thousands of paper, whether it's a Word document or it's a PDF, just throw down in your home office, etc. etc. That you're going to have a headache. So that's what you're experiencing now.
I will
So
work
you
on
have to
that.
file, you have
Mhm.
to name, and you
Mhm.
have to file.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
I will try. If I have any other problem, I will come back to you.
Yes, man.
Okay.
Anytime, anytime.
Yeah.
Call me,
Thank you.
call me, call me, man. Call me
I will.
if you so desire. All
Mhm.
right. Wonderful. Thank you very
That's
much.
that's one of the problem why I cannot play the music now, because I don't know how to place them and go directly to this type of song and play. So I
All
have
right.
to
Tell you
work
what,
on that.
Queen
Mm,
Doctor Nadu,
yeah.
call me tomorrow.
Okay.
Call me tomorrow.
All right.
Do
Thank
you
you.
have Team Viewer by any chance on your computer?
Team viewer.
Team Viewer.
I don't know.
You don't know. All right. Don't worry about it. We'll help you out tomorrow. Call me tomorrow. Call me,
Okay.
call me, call me.
I will call you.
All right. Beautiful.
Thank you. Yeah.
All right. Beautiful. Hmm. All right. Thank you very much, Queen Dr. Nadu. Sure someone learned something today.
Yeah, a
Really
lot.
appreciate King Carlton looking very stately. All right. Thank you very much, King Carlton. And so at this time, let me see. No, don't see anything in the YouTube. Let me look over here also. Uh, all right, no questions. Aloha, everyone from the big island of Hawaii. Oh my, hi, Hawaii. How do I ask? How do I ask audio? I don't know what that means. How do I ask audio? What is the truth, Dr. T? Don't know what is the truth. What is the truth, Dr. T? That's a question. Um,
What is the truth?
that's the question I see from Shirley, Queen Shirley. That's the question she's asking in YouTube.
I think that my final thought will answer that question.
Okay, wonderful. So, all right, wonderful. So, thank you very much. And at this time, we will call on Queen Dr. T to give her final.
Okay, these are my final thoughts, and I think this is what they would call the truth. Letting go is the real beginning. That's the truth. Letting go is the real beginning. We cling to past things because we're human. Like I was telling Queen Pastor Tony, because we're human, we're in this flesh, because we're scared, because we think that holding on protects us, is comfortable, is familiarity. But more often, it limits us. That's what it does. When we hold on to things too long, it actually limits us. The art of letting go is really the art of returning to yourself. That's what it's all about. Your freedom, your clarity, your emotional strength. Letting go doesn't mean you're losing, it means you're choosing. That's what it means to let go. Choosing peace over resentment, growth over comfort, and possibility over fear. The moment you release what weighs you down, you make peace for what is meant for you in this present moment. And that's why I think it's the truth. That's the truth. I hope I answered that question for the YouTube viewer. That's the truth. Let it go. Your past is your past, and your present is a gift. That's why it's called the present. And your future, you can't do anything about right now. So just stay in the present. Let go of the past. Thank you.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you very much, Queen Dr. T. Really appreciate. And remember, the computer is your friend. If it's not your friend, you need to make it your friend. Because listen, um, everything, everything is being computerized now. Everything, your clock, your watch, your phone, your tablet, your fridge, your microwave, your washing machine, everything. Everything is computerized. So get familiar with it. Love it. Grow to love it and let it work for you. Thank you all very much. Really appreciate. Thank you for being here on Deep Dive, Globally Changing Lives. And at this time, we're just going to ask the YouTube viewers to thank them and to bid you so long until Thursday. We do have other sister platforms. One Global Movement on Wednesdays and Fridays, 1 p.m. And that is the Yvonne Duo, Queen Dr. Yvonne and Queen Yvonne Finn. Thursday morning at 8 a.m. Eastern. It's Oh Passion Global, Singapore, Malaysia. Then on Sunday, most definitely, we are kicking into gear with Dream Team, and that's 12:45 Eastern Standard, and that's PM, 12:45 PM, and of course, Mindset Monday on Monday, 7 p.m. Tuesday and Thursday, we are here on Deep Dive, globally changing lives. Thank you all very much. And at this time, we're just going to bid the persons on YouTube so long until Thursday. And those that are here on the meeting platform, of course, we have after party. So stay tuned, those on the meeting platform. We're just going to ask Queen Dr. Nadu to read our scripture and Pastor Tony to pray after I play this music. So long, YouTube.